best pro wrestling podcast.
That is a Minnesota accent. Minnesota, Canada, who cares? They're all garbage.
He's from Minnesota. All Minnesotans know Japanese as a second language.
Fact.
Welcome to the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. My name is Tommy Stryker. Joining me today, back not in the studio, but back via satellite, is Joe. Joe is here.
What's up?
And Taco was trying to be here, I think. We were efforting him, and he was having internet issues. So hopefully he'll be able to pop in here. But who knows if he'll be able to make the connection or not. But it's been a couple of weeks, Joe. How have you been since we've spoken last?
I've just been busy, and then I've been sick.
Yeah, summertime sickness is the dirt worst, isn't it?
It really is. Apparently, I got some cough going around. Everybody's getting it.
Oof.
My wife brought it home.
Well, I'm glad you're staying away because I don't want to deal with that at all. So last week we did not do a show. It was just me and Taco. We did a strong honor. Taco even was called in as well because I wasn't feeling that well last week, but it was just kind of a one-day thing for me. It was just kind of came and went, so thank goodness for that. But so Taco and Taco and I did the strong honor last week, and I got to be honest with you, I was kind of hoping Taco would be here for this too, but I haven't talked to you guys in a couple of weeks, and since the G1 started and since Extreme Rules happened, I have just been like not into WWE main roster stuff. Like I am tuned out. Like I like to, on this podcast, I like to talk about things that I like, the wrestling that I like, and try to keep it positive. And I have just been off the WWE bandwagon as far as the main roster is concerned. I've been digging 205. I've been digging NXT. The G1's going on. I'm way into that. And there's some other cool indie stuff going on. There's a Slammiversary that I want to talk about a little bit here too. But I'm going to be kind of leaning on you and Taco if he ever jumps in here.
If he gets in.
As far as WWE stuff. Because, I mean, between just these long pay-per-views and Monday Night Raw is long, and there's a lot of it that I'm just not into. And rather than sit here and have it be me complaining about it, I'm just not going to watch. And then I'm going to live through it vicariously through you guys. And if I hear something's good, I'll check it out. Because I mean, why should I subject myself to watching something that I'm not enjoying when there's so much other stuff going on out there? Really.
No, I completely agree. It's just whereas I'm the exact opposite in the sense that I don't have the access to New Japan right now or Honor Club, so a lot of that independent stuff. But I also did enjoy like Smackdown this week, so it's like it's a give and take when it comes to WWE. For sure. Well, and then it's not like all of WWE is horrible right now either. I mean, the NXT has just been killing it, just been so good the last month or so, and we'll talk about awesome episode tonight. Yeah,
we'll talk about we're recording here on Wednesday, of course, as usual. So we just got done watching this week's NXT, but even the last couple of weeks, what they've been doing with Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae and even the Dakota Kai story has been good. So yeah, just everything on the on NXT.
Lacey Evans, the whole women's division of NXT is looking amazing.
Yep, and EC3 and the stuff that he's doing they're building up to him and Velveteen has been really good. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, well, before we get into swimming around here too much, let's talk. We always start the show with our best of the week with the hashtag the best, hashtag the B.
The B stands for best.
If you want to get at us on social media, tell us what your best of the week was. Joe, we'll start with you since Taco's not here, but we will go over Taco's subject even if he's not here. But Joe, what's your best of the week this week?
Yeah, it's the SmackDown tag division. Even though it's like it seems like it's much smaller than the Raw tag division, like it's just stacked with great teams. Bringing up Sanity, and then this week you get the Bar coming back.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was awesome. Like they made their big return while everybody was in the ring. They New Day beat Sanity in a pretty good match, and the Usos were on commentary, obviously just killing it.
Yeah, Usos do a good job on commentary. I'm starting to regret missing some Smackdown this week now.
You should. It was actually fun. Hey, is Taco on?
Hey.
Butthole.
Hey, we are recording the show, Taco. We just got started. We just got started.
Sorry.
No, just
I'll censor myself. Asshole.
So it's all good. We just got started here. We're going over Joe's best of the week. Is the SmackDown Tag Division. Sounds like it was a pretty eventful show with the return of the Bar this week. I just got done telling Joe Taco that I have not been watching WWE main roster for 2 weeks now, and I've been rather enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to the conversation this week because I just kind of want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on what's been going on Raw and SmackDown basically since Extreme Rules. So.
You're honestly really not missing too much Raw-wise, but I don't know. I've thoroughly been enjoying SmackDown myself.
Nice. You could probably turn your volume down just a little bit, Taco.
Just a little bit?
Yep, that's perfect. Right
yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
You sound sultry.
I don't know. Just watching SmackDown feels like watching a wrestling product, no matter how good or bad it is lately. Like, it hasn't been bad to me. Raw has been there. It's too fucking long. That's the downside to it. SmackDown always feels complete, and honestly, watching this week's SmackDown, I almost turned it off midway through the show with the AJ and Samoa Joe segment. So I was totally willing to end the show there, and I was like, wait, I got another hour to watch. So it's just
But you thought it was over in a good way, but there was more to come, is what you're saying, or you were kind of ready to turn it off?
I feel like they could have shuffled the product or directed the product in a different way, because just to kind of dive right into SmackDown. Samoa Joe attacking AJ Styles. I was kind of like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Oh shit, Samoa Joe's walking up the ramp. He's pissed, and I was like, oh yep, let's turn off the fucking sling. And wait, it's still an hour of SmackDown left. That wasn't the end of SmackDown. I was ready to wrap things up, and
so they kind of hit them. They kind of hit the
mark right there.
Hit the main event a little early.
Yeah, not to say that the rest of the hour of SmackDown was, garbage or anything. It's just I was like, oh fuck, yeah, let's do this.
Well, getting back to go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, and again, saying for your aspect, Tommy, when you start the show with Andrade versus Rusev, it was a good match. It wasn't like anything or anything like that, but like again, they're kind of blowing their wad by doing all this so early.
Well, it was weird because I heard about they did Andrade AJ, and Andrade lost, of course, but it was like it didn't feel like they built him up enough for the AJ match, and now he's kind of back doing lower card stuff. But so now they're kind of building him up again, or in that match, I suppose it was a good match. But who got the win in Rusev and Andrade? Was it skullduggery? Was it fuckery? What's going on here?
It was a little bit of skullduggery, but like a distraction.
Skullduggery.
Oh, distraction, you say?
Distraction. Too many distractions.
I was hoping you would hit that button.
Some Zelina Vega style distraction, I reckon.
It was kind of a mix of Zelina and Lana, and then you throw in a little Aiden English, and then you finish the match.
Okay, so it was just a big fucking mess anyway. Oh, well, getting back to the tag team point that you were bringing up earlier, you said the New Day defeated Sanity. Do you think it's maybe too early though for Sanity to be losing in a spot like that, or was it a credible and good enough match to where it's like, okay, these Sanity guys are here to I don't know. Did they look good in the loss, I guess is what I'm saying.
I didn't think they looked too bad, and just for the fact that you got to throw in, you got 2 3-man teams, so you obviously throw in Eric Young running around and Kofi Kingston, who wasn't in the match for New Day, running around, and Usos on commentary. Like, again, there was a lot just going on, but it was a solid finish, and they didn't look too bad.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on to Taco's best of the week.
The B stands for best.
Fucking dude, Slammiversary, knocked out of the park this week. Impact Wrestling overall, just complete overall in the whole company, and they put together a good fucking show, a great show, hot crowd, hot product, hot wrestlers, fucking head to toes.
Yeah,
really good promos.
Cool. Yeah, it's something I've definitely was interested in. Sunday night just didn't work for me. I was still watching G1s and stuff, but I was a little turned off by the $40 price point as well for the pay-per-view. But it was definitely something I was interested in. Tell me about the crowd, because it was a sold out crowd, but I understand it wasn't like a huge building. But you were just saying the crowd was,
dude, it was small.
Okay. The building was beautiful. Those were fucking.
It worked,
rad. But no, it's good that they were able to sell a crowd like that. It was a hot crowd, and everybody that wanted to be there for that product, and it showed. They're having a blast. It wasn't trying to be the hooers of the show and take it over or nothing like that. It was just a fun good old fucking time. And you look at even like how many like hardcore matches were on the card, and there were still like even fucking a good show. There's still wrestling involved, and progression going on. And a match that caught me off guard was Allie and Tessa Blanchard. It's just Allie in the back of my head with the Maria Kanellis stuff, and that just like, oh, who the fuck is this high pitched squeaky puppet? Like, what's going on? And no, she's really somebody I can be like, oh no, she holds her own in there now. It's awesome to see that progression.
Yeah, and I understand that, with Tessa Blanchard recently signing with them, that's going to be somebody that they want to build up as well. So that's a good story there. Let's talk about, because I did hear that there was a lot of hardcore stuff on the show. You had the 5150 street fight. You had the Tommy Dreamer and Eddie Edwards bloodbath or whatever. And then the Pentagon and Sami Callihan for the hair versus mask deal. So was it too much, or were they each individually telling? Because it sounds like each individual story. They built up to those matches. It wasn't just hardcore.
They all made sense. It wasn't just oh fuck, Extreme Rules is this weekend. I'm gonna put you in a doggy door match.
Sounds violent.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at least two of the matches are back-to-back hardcore matches. If I remember correctly, I think there was just a space in between the Edwards Dreamer match and the Callahan Pentagon match. So, but yeah, dude, it was just they all had their place. They were all different. They all had different spots, but they all brought their own brutality to it. It was an awesome show, and I couldn't complain. It was worth all of it.
Joe, you were gonna bring up the promos earlier.
Yeah, one of the ones, like, I'm going in with no context. I only know the stories basically through like Twitter and what I randomly see or hear. And I had heard nothing about this Eddie Edwards Tommy Dreamer. I remember Eddie Edwards Sami Callihan, and that's how far back I go.
Right.
And but like the promo leading up to this match told like a perfect story. And then you get to the match, and yeah, sure, besides the ridiculous staple gun, that match really wasn't that bad. I love one of my favorite parts was Tommy Dreamer grabbing an ECW world title out of the crowd and hitting Eddie Edwards with it.
Nice moment there. Well, talk about going from the hardcore stuff to just the straight wrestling match in the main event, Moose versus Austin Aries. I know you didn't get a chance to see that one yet, Joe, but
no, I did not.
But I know Taco was all in on that one.
Yeah, dude, it was. They fucking first off, Don Callis is a master of the mic, even with Josh.
He looks so sleazy.
Oh, such a fucking sleazeball. But yeah, it was just one of those things. Like Moose proved that he should be in that main event scene for Impact, and Austin Aries keeps showing why he's the belt collector.
Yeah.
So it was a fun main event. It was one that I wasn't really putting too much hope into, especially with all these other fun matches, and it's just Austin Aries is really good at hyping up a match. And Moose to me has always just been that big knucklehead football player, Moose, Moose, and to me this was really his coming out. Like his promos were just on point and sharp, and just him running his mouth, and just I loved at the beginning of the match. Moose is like, boy, if this is all you got, you're gonna have a long night. And Austin Aries just bitch slaps him, and like, yeah, and Moose just lifts him up in the air, like, show me what you got, like not scared of him at all. So it was just a awesome interaction.
Nice. Well, yeah, it sounds like Impact is really on fire, and worth checking out on Thursday nights when there's nothing else going on Thursdays. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to following that product, and they're doing the right thing, man. They're bringing in.
There's nothing. You should watch Impact after you listen to the new episode of Best Pro Wrestling Podcast on Thursdays.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is this Thursday G1's starting up again, man, and I gotta be dialed in on the G1. So speaking of the G1, talking about my best of the week.
The B stands for best.
It's got to be the G1 for me. So many good matches. Night 6 in particular, the show from the 21st in Korakuen Hall. Such a great show that night. I mean, you had Zack Sabre versus Sonata. You had Yano versus Kota Ibushi. Juice versus Tetsuya Naito. Kenny Omega versus Tama Tonga. And Tomohiro Ishii versus Goto. That was just a loaded show from the 21st last week. So you got to check those out. And the stories that they're telling in this G1, it's like Jay White, who's this dastardly heel. He's bumping referees and using bullshit to win his matches. And then you got kind of a similar story with the Tongans, the firing squad. They've separated themselves from the Bullet Club, or claiming that they are the Bullet Club. They don't even give a fuck about wins. Fuck wins. Fuck them. They're just gonna take DQs, fucking gang attack everybody, and so they don't give a fuck. Tama Tonga facing Kenny Omega. Fuck that. We're going to do a run-in and get a DQ and ruin Kenny Omega's average star rating for the G1 Climax. So, I mean, I'm digging the story that early on it was all about, getting the skullduggery and bullshit and people getting upset about it, the internet, screaming about it. Yeah! So, but then this week it was more like referees like standing up to like the firing squad and the bullshit. Red Shoes giving the double middle fingers to Tama Tonga and DQing him. And then the next night Tama Tonga tries to do some skullduggery. Red Shoes is like, "No, motherfucker, I'm the referee," and then he hits the referee with the gun stun.
Jesus.
So that was good. So but there's progression in the story. The referees are standing up to the bullshit. The opponents are starting to prepare better for the bullshit. So that's an ongoing story. Mm-hmm. You've got the Juice Robinson story. That's one of my favorite stories of the tournament. He's a guy who came into this the new IWGP United States champion. You're the first American-born United States champion for this for the year-old IWGP U.S. belt. So here he comes in with, eagles flying out of his ass and sparklers out of his nipples, ready to rule the world, and he's lost his first 3 matches, and he's desperate for a win, and he's like, well, I'll do what I have to do after this tournament's over. If I got to defend it 9 times against 9 other guys who beat me in my block, so be it. I'll do it, goddammit. But yeah, Juice just searching for a win is a fun story. And then, of course, you got the story like Okada getting his first win this week. You got Naito racking up some wins. So now it's the picture is just starting to take shape. Like who's gonna come out ahead here? Who's gonna get the momentum building going towards the finals? Any other thoughts on the G1 Taco? Since I know you've been keeping up with the G1, so.
Yeah, I have. It's been fun. It's also been fun seeing the internet fucking screaming over all the fucking skullduggery going on and all the bullshit. I'm loving every minute of it. I'm fucking Tama Tonga, man, right now.
You mad?
I'm loving every fucking thing he's doing right now. Like, trying to find the fucking rat who got him in Twitter jail. Like, who the fuck?
Did you hear the Tamatonga You Mad promo?
Oh,
here we go.
This is for you internet fucking nerds. Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck are you? I play by no rules. What? You telling me about the fucking G1 like there's some kind of honor we playing by? Some fucking rules? Tradition? Bitch, who the fuck are you? Oh. You mad. You mad.
There's a little more to it, but he's just like, I'm making money. This is how I make my money. Oh, but you mad.
Yeah, that's
Tamatonga killing it, man.
Yeah, he's a great heel, and they're really establishing that new firing squad as a force to be reckoned with. They don't give a fuck about wins in the G1. They just want to fuck up everybody else's.
I just love how he's just flaming on the internet, though, just getting everyone worked up. It's hard to do nowadays to get legit heat like that, and he's getting it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
All right, let's move along and let's talk a little bit of the news this week.
Change the subject.
Pro wrestling news.
We have quite a bit of news for you.
Matt Riddle pulled out of the Battle of Los Angeles for PWG. Sounds like he's probably going to WWE, probably going to show up in the stands on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. A little bit disappointing because a guy like me would have loved to see Matt Riddle do some stuff in New Japan. He was supposed to team up with Jeff Cobb last year, but the marijuana stuff kind of caught up with him, and that's still a big stigma over in Japan.
Jeff Cobb is one powerful motherfucker.
But so it's too bad we didn't get to see him in that environment. But he's a guy I think will probably really thrive on the NXT stage.
Here's one thing I was thinking about that too is that NXT UK going to be exclusively be UK guys, or are they going to have like kind of one American snob in there tearing shit up, i.e. Matt Riddle?
I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't have a problem with that either. Just because he would fit right in with that
He's so
type.
Familiar with everybody over there.
Yeah,
and it's just, it's going to be so hard to get a really good true heel for the first couple of months for that UK division. Well, what better way than get the guy who's going to get pops, but he's going to be the American fucking asshole in the UK tearing shit up.
I don't know if he could be a heel though. He's cooler than the opposite side of the pillow. So I don't know.
I know. Well, and is the weed thing going to be a big deal with WWE as well? It's not like he doesn't do it anymore.
It's like a $2,000 fine. They call it a weed tax.
Right.
Nice.
They don't. That was kind of the reason why they stayed away from him early on. But it's definitely not as big of a deal as it used to be. I don't even know if they test for it, to be perfectly honest with you, anymore, as far as the quote weld.
Yeah, you got to get busted for it, but at the same time too, looking down the road, does this open up the door to like a Seidel return?
Yeah, that's interesting. But would he even
him in that third eye?
Would he even want to go back with his opportunities that he could have on the indie scene right now? I mean, he's doing really good, and over there in Impact. That was one match we didn't talk about, was Brian Cage versus Seidel. I heard that was a kind of a banger, kind of an opposites kind of they took the opposite role where Brian Cage played the little guy and Seidel kind of was the power guy in the match.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I haven't seen any of Matt Seidel in a long time, probably since the small bit of New Japan that he did. But I mean, he looked good. Like, it was weird. It's it's fucking Evan Bourne. I think he even said Airborne on the pay-per-view, and it just brought up bad memories.
What were you saying in there, Taco? You got kind of muffled out there.
Oh no, Cage showing he can move. He can be as fast as those guys in a sense. So he's not just a meathead with muscles. So
yeah.
He
well, and it's
good to watch.
It's the X division too, and that's what I like about it is you've got like a champion like Matt Sydal who is 160 pounds, and then a guy like Brian Cage could come in and win it at any time as a powerhouse, and it jumps back and forth all the time. It's actually a really awesome title.
And then switching the subject here, talking the news. We didn't talk about it last week. We didn't do the show, obviously, but Hulk Hogan being unsuspended from the WWE Hall of Fame. It's just one of those things that kind of it just adds to my sour the sour taste I have in my mouth for WWE main roster right now. It doesn't really matter either way. It's kind of because it's not like he's going to show up on Raw and start doing angles and being like a fucking general manager. He's just going to be there. He's going to be a guy to do PR work and charity stuff, and they're still rebuilding his name or whatever. So in that, it just kind of is what it is. I did like that, like Titus O'Neil and the New Day felt comfortable enough to come out and voice their opinions on it.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you got to appreciate that they're standing up for it, because it's not just going to take some little speech in the back room to get them over. You got to prove that you're a different guy.
Any thoughts, Taco?
Yeah, I wish Hogan would, step up to the plate, but if Hogan being around really affects you, you gotta get some shit checked out. Well, I feel like we got some bigger fucking issues to be fighting in this world right now. Does it suck? Yeah, a little bit. Is he running his mouth? Is he a fucking idiot? Yeah. I hope he can make something good out of this and not in the Hogan way.
Right. He has to start by like putting a genuine apology out there, but he continues to say, well, I didn't even know I was being taped, so it shouldn't really matter. Like, dude, because that's why
you're
it's
not
bad.
disagreeing with it.
In a sense, too, that I'm also happy that's why he won that court case, too, because it also kind of sets the standards on how and why and what happens when people's shit's hacked. Like, how's that essentially any different than people hacking into like Jennifer Lawrence's nudes and releasing those kind of stuff? It's still private information in a sense. So I'm happy that he was able to set a standard in that sense of it's not cool to fucking hack into people's shit and release that information to the public. I just wish he wasn't doing the Hogan way of like, oh, I'm sorry you got offended by my hacked shit. It's like
it doesn't change the fact that you're still a bigot or whatever. But
it's like, Hogan, you can do such a good fucking thing right now, and you're taking steps backwards.
Yeah.
God damn it! And I don't know. It's just. I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk a possibly interesting news item. This one coming from ProWrestlingSheet.com. There's a new promotion that's going to start airing on WGN on Saturday mornings, starting in September. It's going to be called Ring Warriors. It's going to be a 1-hour show starting September 15th. Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're going to start taping early in August on the 8th and 9th at Sam's Town in Las Vegas, where Ring of Honor's done some pay-per-views from. So these are some names they're going to have on there. Austin Aries, Eli Drake, Jeff Cobb, Marty the Moth, Wes Briscoe, Alex Chamberlain. I don't know who that is. Don't know who some of these names are. But yeah, some big names on there. With what's that?
It's Wilt Chamberlain's grandson.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up. So anyway, you got some Impact names, you got some indie names on there, some Lucha Underground names, Ring of Honor names. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Starting in September, it's kind of interesting. The WGN's taking a chance on basically what's a startup thing, more or less. I guess it's been
startup things happening.
Yeah. So yeah, the competition is getting to be more and more for a place like Ring of Honor, who's still kind of reluctant to bring in, I guess not complete, because they're bringing in Austin Aries. Sounds like they're going to be bringing in Jeff Cobb pretty soon for this next set of TV tapings.
Yeah.
So maybe Ring of Honor's starting to come around a little bit more with starting to book like a super indie once again, because I think that's what's really going to move the needle for them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to.
Bullet Club so long.
What was that, Taco?
You can only do the Bullet Club thing for so long,
right? And they don't have they're trying to build up some of their own stars with like a Matt Taven and the guys in the Kingdom and Flip Gordon and stuff. But and they are, but they also could use a little bit of credibility from some guys that are really killing it on the indie scene right now, and like Sammy Callahan and Jeff Cobb. Those are smart names to bring in. So it'll be interesting to see what
the Impact turned around.
Right, exactly. All right, let's move on again. Let's talk some Raw, shall we?
Change the subject.
Where'd it go?
Monday Night Raw.
Been a couple of weeks there. I forgot where the big button was for Monday Night Raw. So again, I'm going to lean heavily on you guys there, and it feels like we've buried a big kind of lead story here, getting to the.
I was going to rewind real quick. Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns retiring.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a big story. That I did see that earlier today too. Sorry, I didn't note that down for the news, but yeah,
it just literally popped in my head. I was like, "Let's move on." I was like, "Wait a minute."
But yeah, Will Ospreay sending a big shout out to him on Twitter. It was a big inspiration for him and his early tag team partner, basically doing an impression of the Motor City Machine Guns early in his career. So yeah, very influential and kind of an early retirement at 35, but if his body's breaking down and telling him it's time to quit,
he's going back to school.
Good.
There you go. Good for him.
Yeah, it's just they definitely had fun early feuds and Impact. That's what I remember them from. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, the internet is screaming at us. We've buried the lead until 30 minutes into the show here. We got the new the all women's pay-per-view coming in October called Evolution. Big announcement on Monday Night Raw. Taco, what are your thoughts on the Evolution pay-per-view announcement?
I'm so glad we talked about Hogan before this.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's fucking awesome, and I don't dig on the internet just about this shit. It's so depressing on both ends. It's like nobody can be happy about fucking anything nowadays.
Nope.
For fuck's sake, it's just enjoy it. It's great. Let them steal the show. It's a moment. It's a milestone. It's great. Are they going to shove it down our throat? Fuck yeah, they did. Did they shove the fucking Greatest Royal Rumble down our throats? Fuck yeah, they did. So
it's what WWE does.
It's what they do, exactly. It's just like, calm down, people. This is great. We're going to see some fucking awesome matches ups. Like, people have been already like hooting and hollering about Beth Phoenix and Nia Jax. Fuck yeah, let's do it up. So, God, yeah, I can't say anything bad about this. It's fun. It's great. It's a good time. October. It's nothing really big is happening then, so this is a good moment for it.
Yeah, they don't have a regular pay-per-view in October set at this time.
Don't they do the breast cancer stuff in October as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then the Mae Young is wrapping up then too.
Well, yeah, they're going to tape the Mae Young early August here, and then hopefully they just air it because they're going to do the finals at this Evolution pay-per-view for the Mae Young Classic. So hopefully they just do like kind of like what they did with the Cruiserweight Classic, just release like an hour at the time building up to the show. That would be really cool, I think.
Yeah, it would.
And then do the finals there, and then they're going to like you said, they're bringing in a bunch of Hall of Fame talent or whatever, stars from the past to come in, like you said, Beth Phoenix, Lita, whoever, maybe Trish Stratus they've talked about. So,
and I'm hoping the NXT has a big part in this as well. Like, I want to see some new talent. My dream match is I've brought it up before, but I want to see Asuka versus Kairi Sane, and I want to see them backfist each other and knock each other out.
Well, it sounds like they're really going to load this thing up. They're talking about like 50 female superstars on the show, so it's going to be Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, which means probably Toni Storm. We talked about the Mae Young Classic finale going to be there, so it's going to be a loaded show, and hopefully not only is it going to be full of stars, but hopefully they give us at least a couple, 2, 3, really good matches on there too. Because one of the things I've been sour on recently is the WWE pay-per-views, and they're loaded with way too many matches, and you're craving like a good match, but there's not enough time for it, or they book a weird ass finish. So hopefully we get some satisfying matches on the show. That's something to hopefully look forward to.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Other stuff from Raw continues to be the Roman Reigns show. Bobby Lashley beat Reigns clean as a sheet a couple of weeks ago on Extreme Rules. They do the double three-way gimmick last week, and it's Reigns versus Lashley once again. Reigns gets the victory over Lashley. Joe, how do you feel about this? Does Lashley lose all the momentum coming out of Extreme Rules? And how do we feel about this going on again?
I'm so bored. Like, I'm just so done. Like, you can pull the whole Brock Lesnar. He's the beast. I don't care. Like, and I just don't want to see this again. Like, whereas like you compare it to like an Okada Omega, at least the matches are entertaining every single time. We've seen this. We've seen how it goes. We know how this is gonna end. Even it's just. Why?
Well, in New York City, Brock has got all the heat in the world, so he's going to get booed out of the building. It's New York City, so Roman Reigns is going to get booed out of the building. What are we doing here? Taco, bring us up. Where's your positivity?
I hope fucking Brock Lesnar comes out with that big dick energy and just fucking walks out with the strap.
Big dick energy. Well, how about this? So Brock Lesnar is supposed to be on Monday Night Raw next week. And I get it. They could do the thing where he's advertised for Raw and doesn't show up, and blah, blah, blah. All the heat then is, of course, on Roman Reigns, or on Brock Lesnar. I mean, if he doesn't show up, so they could add more heat to the fire if they do that next week. But what if he shows up and Braun Strowman decides, fuck defending the briefcase at SummerSlam against Kevin Owens, I'm going to cash in on this motherfucker right now. What do you guys think of that scenario?
I would take that.
Taco.
No, I've actually been digging this Lashley Reigns feud. I think both guys have been fucking killing it on the mics and the ring and everything. It's been fun.
I'm not mad at it.
It just sucks that fucking Lashley's not walking out on top when he's coming back doing a big redemption story, and they've been kind of pounding that in our head of, we need a guy that can go fucking tower to tower. That's not Brock Lesnar. It's like, yeah, and you also keep showing us the same MMA clips of Lashley too. So let's just do it. And the logical side of me is like kind of worried if they step in that ring together, because it's like, what if they don't turn that switch off and they really want to fight?
Well, that's the spectacle.
It would be entertaining.
Yeah,
that is the spectacle, but I think WWE wants to avoid that issue. I honestly don't think they would turn into something like that, but that would be a story that they could work going into it. I think yes, that would be very entertaining. But I gotta believe WWE isn't this stupid. They're not actually going to go with Brock and Reigns at SummerSlam 1-on-1. They have to change it up. They have to throw something else. Either Braun Strowman cashing in next week to throw a monkey wrench into it, or something else. Maybe Lashley does get in there and they make it a three-way. We got 3 or 4 weeks here yet before SummerSlam, so I gotta believe they're not just gonna do this. I don't know. I just can't believe that they would do this. Believe
that, yeah. Believe it. It's gonna happen.
All right. Anything else from Raw? The Rollins storyline. He's gonna get another rematch at SummerSlam.
Correct.
Okay.
Straight up match.
Oh, hey.
Well, here's the thing: is I've liked their feud. I did see their match from Extreme Rules. I didn't like the pinfalls after 5 minutes or whatever. I just thought an Iron Man match could have been done a little bit better. Whatever. That's just my opinion. Whatever.
It's because it wasn't an Iron Man match. It was half of an Iron Man match.
Yeah, there's that. But it's WWE. They're only half hour now. Ever since Bayley,
maybe if they didn't have 12 to 15 matches on a goddamn card,
they didn't have 12 to 15 pinfalls in an half-hour Iron Man match.
Correct. So we'll get a straight up match at SummerSlam. That should be good if they let it be. But we'll see. What's going on with Drew McIntyre now?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just he's still kind of the background noise, but
well, he's doing it. Is he doing a thing with Finn? Is he doing a thing?
Yeah, because they I believe they had the match on Raw.
Right, and then it turned into the Holla tag team match.
I'm going to make this a tag team match.
But then Finn's gonna
definitely a good pre-show match.
But then Finn's gonna do the Constable again next week. And so I don't know for you guys. What's the end? Because I'm digging what McIntyre is doing right now. But it's just he's kind of in this weird spot where Ziggler and Rollins are going for the IC title. He's out there with Ziggler, so he doesn't really have a thing going on right now. Is he going to get banned from ringside? What's going on here?
I don't know. I could see. Obviously, you got to break him off from Dolph Ziggler sooner or later, but
I hope he gets put in a shark cage.
But I feel like him losing the IC title to Seth Rollins could, set him off. Is this the leader I want? And, send that off. Or Dolph wins and he's still champion and Drew's like, well, I want to be champion now. I'm sick of standing behind you. I don't know where the end game is with this, but they need to move him into a bigger spot.
I could see Rollins getting the title back and then entering into a feud with McIntyre, and that could be very good. Or I could see it going the other way, where maybe McIntyre tries to interfere and ends up causing the loss by causing Dolph to lose it, and that adds to tension between those two. What would you say there, Taco?
Never seen that before.
Anything else from Monday Night Raw? What the hell?
Nope.
What's Ronda Rousey doing? Oh, is she still suspended? What's going on?
Yeah,
she's suspended, and I don't care.
I like that they're like WWE's like, oh, WWE's getting all these awards and red carpet and all this shit. Oh, there's Ronda Rousey with some kids, and it's like, no, that's her husband Travis Brown and his kids. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
that's awesome.
Let's talk some Smackdown, huh?
Change the subject. Smackdown Live. Players, I'm going to make this a tag team match.
That's what I thought. Whatevs.
So Becky Lynch beat Carmella. That's pretty awesome. She's going to get a title shot at SummerSlam, and I guess James Ellsworth got kicked the fuck out.
For challenging AJ Styles, he was fired.
Which is fucking bullshit if you really do think about it. He should be a fucking number one contender for that title shot. He's beaten him twice now. Twice.
What I said was, stop talking.
No, James Ellsworth can just fuck right off. He does not need to be on SmackDown. Carmella doesn't need any more excuses. Get the belt off Carmella. This is ridiculous.
It's gonna happen. I mean, I love Becky Lynch's wrestling. I hate her character. I just can't get into it. Don't know why. But at least she can put on an entertainment match, and she's not a bad person to put the title on over Carmella, even though Mella is money.
Mella is money.
Yeah, Becky Lynch has got it going on in the promo department though too, so that helps out a lot.
No, she doesn't.
Talk about Samoa Joe coming back this week. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but go ahead.
Yeah, WWE's longest entrance versus WWE's shortest entrance. Fucking R-Truth made his return since like the WrestleMania pre-show.
R-Truth.
And and Samoa Joe choked his ass out.
Quick and Joe wrestled.
What was that, Taco?
Quick and Samoa Joe wrestled, so
and then
he made his big return after him and Ty Dillinger were like, I don't know what's up with that. That's a new team going on right now.
Yeah, 10 times what?
10 times what?
Okay, so Samoa Joe got in AJ's face. What's going on here?
Oh, Samoa Joe.
It was a big squash match. Samoa Joe's run through Quick. And then
I just want to pause here for a second. I mean, I get it. He had a squat. I don't give a fuck about Samoa Joe and Quick. I want to know what's the aftermath. What's the end game here? What's Samoa Joe doing? He's going after.
That was a whole different ordeal. Like that was early on. Paige came out, made her big announcement of the contract signing and everything, and
what is that? That's when James Ellsworth came out.
What happened, and that's when Samoa Joe came out of nowhere and choked out AJ Styles and made his way up the ramp. You know, looking smug and happy and everything. And Paige confronted him in the back. She's like, "I chose you because you're unpredictable and you're a monster and you're strong and all this shit." He's like, "Wasn't that unpredictable? Wasn't that powerful? I'm the beast. I'm going to tear him down." And then he just like walked away all Samoa Joe like. So yeah, awesome shit.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's killing it.
So that'll be a good match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, dude.
What else from SmackDown? We talked about the New Day beating Sanity, the tag division going on there. So it sounds like SmackDown's hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yep, Bludgeon Brothers being bludgeony.
And he's gone. Bye, Joe. Hasta luego.
Oh, I'm gone.
Oh, he's back.
I've been here the whole time. Shut up.
You like faded away.
Bludgeon Brothers!
Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers being bludgeony.
Say that 5 times fast.
All right. Let's see here.
If you're they're really making a convincing argument on pick a side, Raw or SmackDown. It's like, okay, SmackDown.
What are they doing with Daniel Bryan now? They're building up to him and the Miz? What's going on?
Yes, they are. They did Miz TV is what closed out SmackDown, and they brought out the baby with him, but turned out to be a toy baby, and he tossed it at Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan tried to catch it, and then he skull-crushing finale'd him.
So Miz brought a hit. What's that, Taco?
I wish he would have punted that thing, like Snitsky'd it out into the crowd.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
So anybody watch Miz and Mrs.?
Nope.
Okay, well, we'll move on then. I want to talk about this MLW Battle Riot. We changed the subject. They taped it last week in New York, and it's going to air this Friday night on BN Sports. Now, if you don't have BN Sports, about 24 hours later, they put it up on their YouTube channel. So it's a 40-man Battle Riot, which is basically a Royal Rumble type match where you get a new guy in every minute, and you can not only is it over the top rope elimination, but it's also a pinfall and submission, and because it's also one of these.
These nuts! Anything goes!
So it's going to be a lot of fun here. You got Pentagon in there, Shane Strickland, John Hennigan, a.k.a. Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Lucha, whatever,
Johnny
Mundo, yeah. Filthy Tom Lawler from the UFC, Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, Ray Phoenix, Sammy Callahan, Jimmy Havoc, and a bunch of others. I think Swoggle's in the thing. So Kevin Sullivan, I think, is in there.
Dear Lord.
Conan. So that's going to be airing. And then they're going to have they're just going to. When they originally taped the thing, there were a bunch of other matches, and I imagine those are going to air as the TV show goes on upcoming TV shows. But with the battle, this is going to be a 2-hour special, so I imagine the Battle Riot's taking up most of that, and then they're advertising 2 other shows for this show coming up this weekend. The other is going to be the first ever MLW World Middleweight Champion will be crowned. It's going to be Joey Ryan versus MJF. MJF, big rising star on the indie scene. Kind of looks like Colt Cabana's son, but a very cocky young man that guy is. So that should be a fun matchup between those two. And then Myron Reed is making his debut for MLW, taking on Koto Brazil, and that's another middleweight division bout. So I'm looking forward to this. Tony Schiavone is doing the commentary for these MLW shows. I know Joe,
awesome,
being a former WCW guy, it's cool to see Tony Schiavone back on the scene.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I grew up that voice was the voice before JR even came into my ear.
So yeah, he's doing commentary with Matt.
I knew you were going to say that.
What'd you say?
I heard Taco say gross, and I knew he was going to fucking say that.
Oh.
He said JR came in his ear.
Hang on, I gotta go get it here. Where did it go? Oh, it's over here. Then I gotta go down here, and
then push that.
I guess it was.
You want to take a left.
I guess it was Joe that said
That is so profane,
Joe,
and rude.
So,
My God, what slobber knocker.
Battle Riot. Anyway, so yeah, Schiavone he did the commentary with Matt Stryker. Actually, he's been doing it with Rich Bikini, formerly Rich Brennan of WWE. So that was what was going on there. Here's the other matches that they taped last week in New York. They did Simon Gotch versus Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger. Shane Strickland versus Sami Callihan. That was originally for the championship, but I guess Shane Strickland got beat for the championship by, I can't remember who won it now.
Wasn't that MJF?
Was it Ha Ha Quinn Dix?
No. Well, maybe it'll come up on here as I go through this card. The Hart Foundation, Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Smith Jr. with Brian Pillman II take on Rich Swann and ACH. I guess somewhere.
Seriously?
Yeah, somewhere on this card, Rich Swann got hurt running into the barricade. PCO versus Homicide. Jimmy Havoc.
Dear Lord.
Jimmy Havoc versus Brody King. A couple other big rising stars.
Have you guys been watching your PCO videos?
I've seen him here and there, yeah. Just acting like a maniac in the fucking weight room.
He just got like a battery installed in his heart.
Here it is. Low Key won the MLW title. He's still
How does he keep getting a job?
And he had a championship match versus John Morrison on this show. So, or John Hennigan, whatever you want to call him.
Jesus tits.
So, I guess Low Key's pretty tight with the guy in charge of MLW. That's probably why he's getting booked here and is booked as the champion. Let's see. There's the tag title match. Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix versus Drago and Ray Horace. I bet that's a banger. So, yeah, a loaded show. So, the next 3 weeks of this MLW fusion on BN Sports should be a hell of a deal. So, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, why not add more wrestling?
Yes, and watch less Raw. That's my plan, anyway. All right, let's. Well, before we do the match of the week stuff, let's get into this retro recommendation here, shall we?
Change the subject.
Where did it go? There it is.
Retro recommendation.
So 3 weeks ago, the last time we were doing the podcast here, we threw it out there that we were going to do SummerSlam 99 based solely on, because it was here in Minnesota, Mankind versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H with Jesse Ventura, the Body, as the special guest referee. Taco and I watched this about 2.5 weeks ago. Joe, you watched it today.
Yes, I did. I watched it right before we started recording.
So the story here was special guest referees. At WrestleMania, it was Mike Tyson. Vince McMahon was a special guest referee at one point in the build-up to this thing. Shane McMahon was a special guest referee in there with a fast count. So Ventura's coming in saying, it's going to be my way or the highway. No more bullshit, no more shenanigans. I'm the governor, and this is my state, and this is how I'm going to run things. First thing that jumped...
And then there's a shitload of shenanigans.
Pretty much, yeah. One thing that jumped out to me watching this was, wow, the fucking signs in the crowd were just... There were so many of them. Like, you just don't see that sheer volume of signage anymore.
No, and I think we just lost Taco.
Taco?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
But...
maybe he'll show up.
Yeah, going back to what was your question?
The signs.
Oh yeah, like I mean, there's not that dedication. Plus, a lot of signs get taken away before even getting entering the building. I mean,
right.
We've heard it. Like they're not going to let you bring in a ridiculously inappropriate sign, and people don't bring signs like they used to.
Yeah. So in the build-up to this, we had two intergender matches: China versus Triple H and China versus Mankind. I guess Mankind helped China win versus Triple H, but then Mankind defeats China after Triple H distraction for the number one contender. So that's why we got this crazy three-way. Triple H versus Mankind ended in a double pin, and then Linda McMahon makes this a three-way. So, there's so much.
Good old WWF.
This is like was Vince Russo back in the WWF doing this one?
My botch.
So the body Jesse Ventura, he ejects China after she crotches Mankind on the post. He refuses to count a pinfall after Triple H uses a chair. So he say, "Hey, no more skullduggery. You can't use a chair." Shane does a run in, but then Ventura throws him back out literally.
Yeah, because he's a little bastard.
Mankind gets a double mandible claw on Stone Cold, but then Stone Cold hits a low blow. You get a triple down. Everybody hits more low blows. Apparently, low blows were not disqualifications in the 90s.
Because nothing was a disqualification.
Ventura, who's going to, be the law and order in this thing, he's not calling a DQ with these low blows. Finally,
That's how the Minnesota governor rolls.
Correct. Finally, Mankind pins Stone Cold Steve Austin after a pedigree and a double arm DDT. Triple H attacks Stone Cold Steve Austin with a chair to his knees after the match. This thing was a mess. Why did we pick this as a recommendation?
We were just going SummerSlam season, man. We were having fun. I don't care what you say. Minus the, I think, like one or two headshots with a chair.
Yeah.
I had fun watching it. It brought me back, and I honestly didn't remember who won. So Mankind winning was a surprise, kind of like a surprise again,
right.
Watching it all over again. So I had fun, and it was good to hear JR with some energy again.
Yes, as opposed to him with zero energy and no give a fucks for the New Japan product. So for next week, we're going to continue this SummerSlam theme. I actually I went and searched out a couple of lists of good to great SummerSlam matches, and I picked what I went back. I wanted to go back even older this time, so I went and dug back to SummerSlam 1991. Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. So that will be the retro recommendation. We'll check that out for next week's show. And yeah, we'll do that. Let's see. I wanted to just briefly, before we get out of here, and obviously I go into this in great detail over on Strong Honor, but Ring of Honor's been doing a little bit better with their continuity issues lately, just because of the TV tapings taking place weeks in advance of actually airing on TV. But with their Honor Club service, you can watch their house shows, which are definitely up to date, but also play into the stories that are being told on TV. And and this week's Ring of Honor Honor Club show was a very good show. I thought about skipping it and just checking out results and talking about that on Strong Honor, but I thought it was a good show with a couple of good main events. You had Flip challenging Nick Aldis for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship on there, with a chance to face Cody at All In on that show. show, and a great story being told there. A great triple three-way tag team main event with the Young Bucks, the Briscoes, and the Addiction, part of SCU. So, yeah, a couple of good main events there. So a show worth checking out there. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say before we get to the end of the show. Go ahead.
Do you get, like, promos and, like just like normal Ring of Honor TV, like with the Honor Club shows?
You know, you don't get any of like the backstage promo stuff, and there's no like Coleman's pulpit or anything like that. But there was a part where like Matt Taven came out and he was supposed to wrestle Marty Scurll. But Matt Taven claims that he's the uncrowned champion because he got the visual pin on Dalton Castle during that championship four-way. So he says, well, I'm not going to face Marty Scurll because Marty Scurll has to work his way up from the bottom. And I'm going to let Marty Scurll face my horror king, Vinny Marseglia. And he goes back and does commentary. So he cuts an in-ring promo, which was very good. He's just killing it on the heel side, and then him going back and talking on commentary just added to the fun and the story in that match as well. So
awesome. Yeah, I've been loving everything that Matt Taven and the Kingdom are doing, man. Conspiracy, man.
I'm Matt Taven. I'm the champion. So yeah, he's been great. All right, let's before we get out of here, let's talk about our matches of the week. Oh, why isn't it going? I got to fix my whole system here. What the hell?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What the hell? This thing's just been goofy.
Match of the week.
I'm going to blame all the problems on Taco's internet connection. Since
it's still lagging us.
Since Taco isn't here, his match of the week was going to be Sami Callihan versus Pentagon Jr. from Slammiversary. Impact Slammiversary, hair versus mask. Pentagon got the win. I didn't get a chance to see it, but Joe, I know you did.
I'm sorry, can you rephrase that again?
Sami Callihan versus Pentagon Jr., hair versus mask, Slammiversary.
Oh, yeah, they had some fun with this match. Again, like the whole build, coming into it with no context, watching the promo building up to watching these two, like going back and forth, and you know how much I love Pentagon. Like, I've got an obsession with Pentagon matches. He's just a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And what I really liked at the end is when they've got like people holding Sami Callihan down and they're shaving his head and he's like screaming and like the lights are flashing, so it's like a horror show almost.
Oh, good times. But yeah, I heard it was a pretty brutal match and just.
Yeah, a couple of nasty chair shots in there, or I'm sorry, like setting up different like chair obstacles and stuff around there.
Chair bridges and taking slams and suplexes into him and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Those two, they're hard workers, man. That's all I got to say about those two.
Right on. And then your match of the week, Joe.
Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, how did you do? I mean, I was spoiled.
Yeah, I ended up getting spoiled. It was really hard to avoid the spoilers on this one. But man, what a match. Just great intensity, and the crowd added to the atmosphere of it. Really hot crowd for this. And God, yeah,
amazing match.
Yeah, great match, and piling the heat on this thing with Ciampa knocking out the referee. Well, even before that, the knocking out the cameraman, and then the referee.
Who fucking made this goddamn techno? I'm back.
Taco's back.
Hey, Taco.
We've already touched on your match of the week, but we'll come back to you here, Taco. We're talking Ciampa versus Black from NXT this week. And
awesome.
all the heat that they threw on that thing with knocking over the camera guy and the distraction thing there, and Ciampa going after the belt and pulling up the mats and knocking the referee onto the concrete by mistake. So much heat, and then Gargano coming out trying to save the day, ends up taking out Black with the belt. Just so much.
Oh, it's perfect.
Ciampa can't win.
What's that?
Ciampa can't win.
And then he won, and he's the champion. And then we've got all kinds of controversy going into TakeOver. It's going to be a really interesting couple of 3 weeks leading up to TakeOver Brooklyn here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to point out, like, besides this match, which I want to point out they didn't throw any breaks into, which I really like when NXT does that.
Good point.
They did not throw any break, any kind of bit.
Moment. Yeah, dude.
Oh, I was expecting the same thing. I really love that touch, but like this whole NXT episode, there was a match, and then there was a side story. Then there's another side story to that side story we just saw, and then there's another match. Like they are building so fast. They use the hour of time so well.
Yeah. I love what they're doing with Undisputed Era and the stuff with Ricochet and the War Raiders. Mauro Ranallo almost called them War Machine at one point, and then Mustache Mountain getting in on that mix too, because they got a gripe against those guys. So that's, I mean, if we get War
Baszler. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, War Machine.
War Raider. If we get War Raiders and Mustache Mountain in like a number one contender situation, I'm not mad at that either. Or if we get
not at all.
If we get a 3-way, that's going to be hot at TakeOver as well. Between those three, my God, those 3 tag teams, holy shit, that'd be good.
I say 3-way is the only way to go with that, just because again, if there's one thing that the Brooklyn shows, you always remember the tag matches. You remember any of the NXT TakeOver tag matches, and I think they always want to outdo themselves. Each team wants to step up even farther each time.
Yeah. Since you're back, Taco, your thoughts on your match of the week: Sami Callihan versus Pentagon Jr. Mask versus Hair from Slammiversary.
It was just a fucking fun match. So much build up to this moment. Just Pentagon getting even more steam coming to Impact, and fucking Sami Callihan taking such a negative and turning into such a hot item for him and Eddie Edwards is phenomenal. And yeah, this match definitely I felt delivered. A lot of hardcore matches are going on through the night, and this one really fucking stuck out, and it was really brutal and cringeworthy, and that's exactly what I expect out of Sami Callihan.
Right.
It was a good time. I loved it. It's just fucking. I just love what Sami Callihan is doing right now, and I love that Eddie Edwards is fucking becoming him, nasty, snarling, fucking tongue sticking out. You know, it's so good to see that. Tommy Dreamer passing the hardcore torch in the form of a kendo stick to him after their match. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's still a cycle that we still need to complete with their story going on there. So it's just a lot of fun shit going on between just their storyline. Eddie Edwards is someone that I just kind of look at. I'm like, kind of he has a pretty baby face. It's kind of boring, nothing too exciting.
Just a typical mass hole.
Yeah, right. And he's really sticking out now, and he's really something. He's really brought something to the table, and it's been fun.
All right, then my match of the week goes back to my favorite stuff of the week, the G1 Climax, going back to night 6, like I was talking about earlier. Juice Robinson versus Tetsuya Naito. God, what a great match. The Juice just needing a win so bad. He's just winless in the tournament, but that brand new champion just going into this, just all fire. But he's got that broken hand, and it's hindering him. And he went to see the doctor right before the match, and the doctor's like, look, you're at 70%, so, don't put any stress on it. Don't have anybody stomp on it. Don't have anybody put it in a submission lock. Don't have anybody, wrap it around the guardrail, da-da-da-da-da. And Juice is like, fuck, this is New Japan. That's Tetsuya Naito. He's ruthless as fuck. Of course he's gonna attack my fucking injury. And that is exactly what it was. Naito, adjusting all of his signature offense, like when he does the swinging drop kick into the corner, instead of hitting him in the face, he hits him in the hand. Same thing with the basement drop kick off the ropes, going right after the hand. Everything's after the hand. Tremendous selling from Juice. Great story, but he's always making his comebacks. He's always hanging on. Great near falls, but then it's Naito in the end hitting that Destino, that big Destino.
Tremendous.
Wow.
Yeah, just so much fun. Just a really great match. You got to check out Strong Honor if you're looking for other recommended matches from the G1. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Once the G1's over, maybe I'll throw together a full list of recommended matches and do them up on this show for people that are curious about it. So, all right, I think that is it. Let's see here. Make sure you follow.
I just came back just in time.
Make sure you follow the show at BPW Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe over there on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. Spread the word about it. Let people know. Facebook.com/Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. And make sure you check out SLTDWrestling.com for this podcast, Strong Honor. They got a couple other podcasts over there talking about Impact and other stuff. And then great fan articles, the Fantasy League, a predictions league for WWE.
I finished highest in the predictions league.
I kind of forgot about the predictions league and or the Fantasy League. I think my team has quickly gone down all of the tubes. So that's it. That's it for me, Taco. Where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me, Joe, at JoeBPWP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for checking out this show this week. Bye.
Peace.
Still there?
I am.
Taco!
I don't know if you can hear me.
Bullshit continues.
Man, every time I do this, it's flawless. Taco's always fucking shit up.
He was good last. Shut up. Taco was good last week. There he is. All right.
I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for now.
Any other news?
Yeah. Hogan, Riddle, women.
WGN.
Yeah.
Taco!
Hello?
Yeah. Any other news?
That's it.
Cool.